All right, everyone, we start off today talking about Beijing Biden. He's managed to alienate the left, which is a dangerous proposition if you're a Democratic president, because he promised them the moon on a stick when he was running, and now basically he's backstabbed them now 3 times. I will explain, though, technically he is correct. With regards to the stimulus checks. We'll get into that a little. First and foremost, though, there is a pinned comment if you're watching on YouTube with links to 4 other video hosting sites that I use. You should join me on one or all of them because fairly soon, within weeks, I will be making fully half of my content alt-tech exclusive. It will not be on YouTube. YouTube will keep getting all the non-political stuff, MREs and shit like that, but as far as my normal one-off commentary, less of it will be on YouTube as of a few weeks from now. And I'm doing that partially because YouTube appears to actually demote content more if you upload more of it. So it doesn't want workhorses on the site unless they're priority creators. They get priority for a reason because their MSM talking heads are basically just propagandists and they get money from Google and money changing hands corrupts things. Anyway, it's funny because Biden is making good on one of his promises, which is to deliver $2,000 of stimulus to people. The problem is that the way he worded it, it sounded like there would be a $2,000 check in addition to the $600 that was already put in as a stopgap measure. That's not $2,000 though, that would be $2,600. So when Cory Bush and Elon Omar and all these others rant and rave about how Biden is falling through, they're technically wrong. $1,400 plus $600 is $2,000. This is what Biden pledged to. The problem is that if you insinuate that people are going to get more than that and you get less, the left wants free money. They want $2,000 a month for free. They don't even want to go back to work. They because I guess they've become so antisocial, socialists that are antisocial, very funny, they plan to just, crash the ship with no survivors. They don't really give a shit about the United States because they don't have a sense of patriotism or anything, so I guess they don't care if the economy is wrecked, which is what would happen with UBI, by the way. I was tacitly for it years and years ago. Then I understood a little bit more about why that was a bad idea. Hint, hint, it has to do with smashing the middle and lower classes together. The rich would still be rich. It wouldn't help anyone. It wouldn't help increase the purchasing power of the lower classes. It would just make the price of everything a lot higher and create systemic unemployment in the double-digit range. It would wreck the economy. It would make the U.S. far less competitive, and then it's a bunch of horse shit. But it is funny to watch Biden lose the support of people that were, they had to hold their nose to begin with. Any sane, reasonable person could look at Biden's record since literally the 1970s from the fucking Jimmy Carter administration era. You could look at his record in Congress, as VP, candidate Biden. You could look at everything that he's done. He has never been a fan of left-wing economics. He's been a milquetoast liberal moderate for his entire career. In fact, in the tough-on-crime era of the 90s, he swung morally to the right. A lot of Democrats, by the way, did at the time. All the Tipper Gore Housewives of America thing was more popular among Democrats at times than Republicans. The Republicans were still doing the limited government post-Reagan thing throughout that period of time, and it really isn't until like the MTV shock jock height of the early 2000s that the Republicans become more moralistic. In the Bush, basically because of 9/11, if you will. That's when the Republicans jump shark and decide to become stupid, more stupid than before. As far as the Evangelocon era, other than the evangelical side of it being tacitly conservative in some ways it was more approximate to the Democrats at times. And that's because they're grifters. It's just what they are. Beijing Biden, therefore, has fallen through on this, but this is again, a multi-time sort of thing. He's also done this with gun control and immigration, you'll notice. He wants to increase refugee taking by an order of magnitude and other stupid shit like that, but he promised blanket amnesty. Now he's saying, oh, well, there will be an 8-year path to citizenship for most of you. Well, that's not what the left wanted. Biden will quickly learn that they are incapable of being placated by giving them anything less than what you have promised them. See, it's not the left of yesteryear. This isn't the Gen X left. They're not going to get promised the moon on a stick, and then when you hand them a bucket of asteroids instead of the moon, they're like, oh, well, at least I got something. That's not what they're doing. There's a vein of extremism in the modern-day left. I think we can see it in multiple U.S. cities. They're tired of dealing with being promised everything and then getting very little of it. By the way, this is also true of the populistic right. They've been promised the conservation of the American way, lower taxes, less government, general prosperity, and being left alone by the Republicans for decades now. The Republicans constantly fall short on that and would rather dick around giving money to foreign nations and stupid shit like that. Or passing more laws, making more shitty government. The Republicans, therefore, they've fallen flat as well, and both parties, the GOP and the Dems, are suffering this. The problem is that Beijing Biden is basically the perfect face of 80s and 90s neoliberalism. You can't get a more milquetoast, moderate, center-left style corporate Dem figure. I mean, Hillary Clinton would be the only other person, I think, currently active in DNC politicking, maybe Schumer, I suppose, that would be more representative of that kind of failed globalistic neoliberalism that nobody wants. The right wing hates it because it's selling us out to China. The left hates it because they're not getting UBI and universal everything for free from Uncle Sam. Nobody likes this. Again, and this is on gun control. He's done the same thing. Well, we're going to ban them assault rifles. Come on, man. Oh, no, we're not going to ban them. Just register them and pay a tax. So basically, poor people are not allowed to be as well armed as their more wealthy counterparts. I'm very glad that I'm in the echelon where I can afford, therefore, the shitty tax on my AR-15, so to speak. Not that I'm going to. If I had one, of course, it would, drown in a lake. Be very, very problematic. Good luck fucking finding one at this point. Good luck finding pretty much any gun. You can find like 22 rifles if you find ammo for them. A few handguns and odd chambered revolvers and stuff, but a lot of weapons shops, they're back ordered into oblivion right now because people are worried about the economic situation. By the way, they're right to be. I intend to invest in potentially more weapons myself. Might need to hunt. The government has begun rationing meat. Thankfully, I have MREs, so, my supplies will last a little bit longer. I can grow my own food, and when animals come to try to take my food, I can kill and eat them as well. It's good to live on the edge of the woods. North woods are full of small game, rabbits and squirrels and groundhogs and shit. They always try to get into my garden. They will fail. Poor Beijing Biden. He just can't do anything right. So now hashtag bidenlied is trending right now. It's not right-wingers whipping everyone up into a frenzy. It's a bunch of leftists. They're pissed off at him. It's so funny. I love it when they have push polls saying, oh, he's got 56% approval. No, he doesn't. Come on. Give me a fucking break. The dude hasn't hit 50% approval in the goddamn Democratic Party. He doesn't have any fans. Nobody likes the bastard. That's about all. Peace out.